All right, shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Baruch HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, all right, and have taught us His word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000. All right, that's doing this work in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, and as well as to the innumerable multitude that sincerely believe upon the names of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. Peace and mercy to you and your household. So, GMS Toronto, I got with me Malak and Banyamin, okay? And in today's class, there's going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. And the titles at hand is Snares and Miracles. Snares and Miracles. Okay, while everybody is caught up in the psyop of these shootings and stabbings and, the unaliving, of Charlie Clerk, right, which is the psyop, whether it was real or not, the whole point is it's a psyop. The word psyop is a psychological operation, right? Matter of fact, I brought this out last week. Let me get this real quick, because you have to understand, while everybody's focusing on this psyop, these devils are planning and orchestrating their next move. Okay, so the eye has to be on the ball. And the ball ultimately is salvation, but before salvation is the MOTB, right? The micro C hip.
That's right.
Right, and there's gonna be a lot of snares, right, that are going to be performed. People are gonna be caught up in a lot of snares, but those snares are gonna be under the guise of miracles, all right, via technology.
That's right.
So when you read here, I got in chat, chat for PSYOP, it says governments and ruling powers often use psychological operations, right? And remember, psychological operations don't actually have to be real. It could be real, it still operates on your mind psychologically, or it could be fake and it'll still operate on your mind psychologically. Either way, it's a psychological operation, a psyop. So it says governments and ruling powers often use psychological operations, psyops, to shape public opinion, manufacture consent, and create conditions that allow them to pass laws or policies that would otherwise face resistance. These operations don't always look like outright lies. They usually mix truth, fear, distraction, and repetition to steer people towards a desired conclusion. And what are you seeing a repetition of? Well, you're seeing a repetition of sedition, upwards of the people, right? Violence in broad daylight in the streets. That's what you call psyop. Okay. Yep.
Psychological operations. Yep. There's been a pattern of that, no doubt about it. Go ahead, brother.
Yep. And it says here, for number one, manufacturing fear or crisis, problem, reaction, solution. How it works: create or exaggerate a problem, provoke public fear or outrage, offer the solution, a law or policy that was already planned. Examples: a major T attack, e.g., example 911, fear of terrorists, right? Or terrorism. You know what I'm talking about. We got talking code.
Yeah, you're gonna say that
was heightened, leading to public acceptance of sweeping surveillance laws, the Patriot Act, TSA security measures, right? And let's move down. Number two, you see, these are things you have to know, because what does the scripture say? That the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, right? But spiritual, to the breaking of strongholds. And the strongholds, right, is the deception that these devils have via their miracles, which are snares and traps, right, upon the minds of the people, right, through their lies. Okay, so you have to know how they operate. Number two, Controlling the narrative through media, how it
Absolutely.
works. Flood the news and social platforms with one dominant perspective, framing opposition and framing opposition as dangerous, foolish, or unpatriotic. An example is constant repetition of phrases like for your safety or common sense law until the public associates compliance with morality. Okay, another one. Number
Mhm.
3, divide and conquer.
Yep.
It
That's right.
says how it works. Pits groups of people against each other. And this weekend, we could even prophesy where we usually go, right?
That's
We
right.
had to go and do it in home because this is the stage that we're at. You had a divide between people protesting anti-immigration, for
Mhm.
immigration, pro-immigration versus anti-immigration. And this is happening throughout the four corners of the earth. You think that's a coincidence? That's prophecy. The Lord is using Esau Edom on the left-hand side, all
Mhm.
right, to basically divide and conquer, all right, to wage psychological operations on the minds of the people so you can cause civil unrest. As it says, pits groups of, and these are political problems, right? Major, the two major political groups are what? The left and the right.
That's
Democrats,
right.
Republicans, liberals, and
Mhm.
conservatives. Pit groups of people against each other, so they are too busy fighting one another to resist law from above. And this is what we're going to get into in
That's
terms of
right.
what? The snares.
Mhm.
While
Beautiful.
everybody's focusing on the psyop, there's snares, all right, being built up, all right, in the form of miracles, in the guise of miracles, okay?
Mhm.
Example, emphasizing political party division to distract from bipartisan support, okay, bipartisan support for surveillance or financial laws.
Beautiful point, brother. That word bipartisan, right? So these people that are protesting, real quick, I just want to say it because bipartisan came up. They're not a part of the same party. Okay, they're all supporting different parties, but with bipartisan they come together. That's what that's going into. You people can pull up the
Yeah,
word bipartisan, right? So
yeah.
they'll come
It's a
together,
two-piece party.
yeah, for peace sake, right? To
But
come up, they'll come together. That's what that means. So all different types of people come together for one purpose. That's what these Patriot Day, where we prophesied, and all the other things that's going on around the world. That's what they're about. That bipartisan coming together for that one cause.
remember,
Wow.
they study how to work on the mind,
Let me get it.
right,
Yep.
with their wicked devices, so they know
Mhm.
how vulnerable the people's minds are. So they fool them by illusions.
Get that.
So a lot of people are in a snare right now by the illusions, because there's different types of illusions, right?
Gone.
So a
Mhm.
lot of
Let me get
people
this.
are caught
Yeah,
up in it.
gone, gone. Let me just get this word bipartisan real quick,
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
edification's sake,
Bipartisan.
right? So it says involving the agreement or
There you go.
corporation
There you go.
of two political parties
There you go.
that usually oppose each
Mhm.
other's
Mhm.
policies, right? So
Mhm.
two different wings of the same bird. That's
Yeah.
all it is, right? The two
Coming
horns.
together.
He had two, Revelation 13, he had two horns like a lamb, but
Mhm.
spake as a dragon. He had two horns like a dragon, but spake as a
Mhm.
lamb.
Yeah.
The lamb part is a bipartisan, it's a bipartisanship. Okay,
That's
both
right.
sides are working in conjunction, right, for the same goal and the same purpose.
Mhm.
So going back here, number 4, it says destination or desensitization and normalization. How it works: gradually induce ideas in media, entertainment, or news until people no longer resist them. Example: continuous portraying of cameras, drones, and biometric scanning in movies and ads makes real life surveillance feel normal. Yep. Number 5, emotional appeals and symbolism. How it works. Attached laws or policies to emotionally charged events. So I can read that again. Attach laws or policies to emotionally charged events. Heroes or victims, right? And this guy's being made a hero, right? Especially among the Christian community. He's a martyr. He's a martyr. He's a
Yeah,
martyr of the Christian,
100%. I'll tell you something
right?
after
The
the
walkie-talkie,
light.
yeah,
Yeah.
walkie-talkie Christians,
Come.
right? So it says examples using children as spokespeople for stricter regulations. Do it for the kids, all right? And last but not least, here it says censorship and gatekeeping. How it works: limit exposure to dissenting voices, label critics as misinformation. This is famine of the word. Okay, this is where we get into the famine of the word, and all these aspects of psyop, as I'm reading here from 1 to 6, are all in play as we speak at once. Okay, so censorship and gatekeeping, how
Okay.
it works: limit exposure of dissenting voices, label critics as misinformation, and the majority focused on approved narratives. Okay, Sake, let me read that again. Um, limit exposure to dissenting voices, label critics as misinformation. That's going to be the prophets, right? Because we're the real critics,
That's right.
right? Of this empire,
They
American
want to
empire,
beautiful. They want to make
right?
less of us.
Yeah, we're the critics of this empire, right? So we criticize the rulership of Esau Edom, right? Through what? The scriptures.
That's right.
That's right.
As it says, misinformation, and keep the majority focus on approved narratives. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Example, social media algorithm tweaks that push state-friendly news and suppresses alternative viewpoints.
Points. That's right. Censorship.
So,
So it says there.
yeah, so when you read here, it says here, in short, psyops are about shaping perception so that people want the solution offered, or at least accept it without major resistance. It's not usually brute force. It's about guiding emotions and benefits until compliance feel like common sense. So,
Salaki, beliefs,
even oh
emotions,
yeah,
and
sorry,
beliefs. That's
yes, like it.
that's
Emotions
something.
and beliefs until compliance feels
Yeah.
like common sense, right?
Mhm.
Guiding emotions and beliefs until compliance feels like common sense. So, I know that was a little bit lengthy in terms of the intro,
No,
but
and look,
these are
no,
these
brother.
are
That's
No,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
that's
you
perfect.
Slack, let me
You
people have
broke
been
it
you
down.
people
let
have
me
been
finish,
spoon fed.
brothers. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Relax.
Okay.
All right. I'm talking to those who are watching,
That's right.
but these are things that you have to watch. I know you brothers understand. I know you brothers understand. You're
Mm,
doing the work with me. But
Mhm.
these are things that that you have to know, so you understand the wiles. So you're not caught up in the wiles of the serpent of Esau Edom. Okay,
yeah. Mhm.
all right, man.
Lazy
You got heat in your chest, eh? You guys got heat in your
It's
chest.
true.
Yeah, because they're
Holy,
being spoon fed. They don't have no clue. I mean, for those who are not, who do not understand, you've been spoon fed, man. I mean, that's straightforward. I just
yeah,
want to say this real quick because the word descendant within the text of what was read, you brought out all the illustrations. So simply put, I just have the word here. It says general use for this desensitization. It says becoming less sensitive or less responsive to something over time, right? So there, we know the systems. Their goal is to try to do that to the prophets, but that's only going to
Yeah.
backfire on them.
They shape you.
But that's right. But when it comes to the prophets, desensitizing the prophets, that's going to backfire on you wicked,
That's
right?
right.
Simply put, I just want to be clear with that within the context
yeah,
of what was read and brought out. And
Yep.
I'm just
But
going to
you
say
know what,
that. Go
Salaka,
ahead. Take your time. That's it.
mainly on you unbelievers, right?
Yeah.
Because
Simply
that's
put.
when you're gonna be looking for us,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? You unbelievers among Israel,
Straight.
all right. Whether you're within or without, that's where that's really gonna the descenting of the prophets,
Mm-hmm.
all right, which is getting us off the highways and the internet is really gonna backfire on you because when all hell breaks loose, that's when all hell is gonna break loose super quick,
That's
all
right.
right. When the prophets are done prophesying, and the Lord takes them off the highways and byways and off the internet, the Lord's going to come down with great evils, more than the earth has ever seen before. You're going to be looking for the truth at that time. But the truth, which the prophets were speaking, Yahweh Shemel Shai's words, are going to be the only thing that are going to be able to protect you in that time. But you won't find them.
Mhm.
So mainly you unbelievers, man, and you fake and phony what's it called prophets.
Mm. Straight.
Yup,
Yeah,
yup,
straight. Yeah.
yup.
That's it. Um,
Okay, so Malak, I know you have some. You can bring it out
yeah.
real quick,
Real
straight to the
quick.
point, and we'll
Yeah.
get these
Straight.
clips.
Yeah. Beautiful. Straight to the point because one of the snares, and we were cautioned about it, is in the book of Matthew, the 10th chapter and the 18th verse. If we could go there, I'm going to read two precepts from there because our Savior told us about the snare when it comes to the prophets. All right. And prior to that, when you read up in this chapter, Matthew 10, 5 and 6, we got explicit instructions about who we are. He told us who, obviously, he told the apostles who they are, right? From the get go, or the disciples, they were called then. And it's about identification and namesake reputation, who we represent. And our Lord told us, because of this, this is what's going to happen. In other words, because of who we worship, okay, they're going to do everything in their power to accuse us. And he says, just be ready for it in spirit and in truth. It's necessary. It's part of prophecy. Right?
Let's go into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm.
Baba Shah. Just a little context. Can you read the verse before for those at home? 17. I'm going to read to 20.
Okay, so you want me to read 17 to 20?
You can, Baba Shah. Just finish it straight.
So it says Matthew 10 and 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues.
All right, so that's within aspect, right? Okay, simply put, you're gonna have false men doing all that stuff, right? Continue.
Yeah, within meaning, just so people understand, within
Oh,
meaning
okay.
those who believe that they're Israelites.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah.
That's within the house of Israel and also within Israel, if I may say.
Yeah.
All right. We'd be
And you know
clear.
what? I'll also say, because
Mhm.
nowadays we know that if you're applying this prophetically, that's really going to play out in these concentration camps,
Beautiful.
right? These
Beautiful.
prison camps, concentration camps. That's where this is really going to play out
Beautiful.
prophetically. It did happen historically, and it also did happen to our apostles and elders. They were
Mhm.
tossed out of the school.
Mhm.
Most of you probably know about that. Know about the history. If you don't, there's videos on it. But nevertheless, prophetically, this will play out in these concentration camps.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Because the narrative, I'm glad you say that real quick, but the weird narrative is that they say that the apostles break away. No, they didn't break away. The Lord extended it to them. That's who he extended it to. But the fake narrative that is out there is that they broke away. But no, right? They were put out,
Yeah,
as the brother mentioned, real quick. I just wanted to say that.
yeah. Which they did break away in the spirit, because remember, Apostle Heart
In
goes into
spirit.
it. Like they did break away in the spirit because the Lord was dealing with them, just like
Yeah.
John the Baptist.
Hmm.
Right? He broke away from the temple because guess what? There's a lot of defilement, right, and wickedness going on. Not wrong with breaking away as long
And
as you're breaking away with the truth.
That's
that was
right.
for actually for the better. That's actually to save Israel, man. To save the
Yeah,
elect, of
Absolutely.
Israel.
Absolutely.
That breaking
yeah,
away had to happen,
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's something what had to
Sure.
go down, you know what I mean? Just for
Mhm.
it to manifest and be spread.
Done. So
All
verse
right.
18 it says, "And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a
Mhm.
testimony against them and the Gentiles.
Yeah, so this sake goes into our Lord's reputation, who the Spirit is upon his elect, and they're going to represent, right, because the Spirit of prophecy is with them for his name's sake. When you go into that word sake or namesake, you have to go to, because it's together. Sake is going into his reputation of who we serve. That's a point, right? So in regards to that snare, they're going to make false accusations. Right? And look for you to make a mistake so that they can blame you
Mm-hmm.
that you're not serving him.
And that you're the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
The world has a
there you go.
The world has a different idea of who the Heavenly Father is and who the Son is, and how we know the Father and the Son is completely contrary to what they believe. So they're gonna say,
100%.
just like they called Yahushua a devil, right, of Beelzebub, they're gonna be doing the exact same thing with the prophets. That's why a lot of believers are gonna turn away. They're gonna betray one another. Yahushua spoke about that. Right, they're going to betray one another because of the accusations and the demonization of Esau okay,
That's right.
or Esau Edom.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to have to start saying E2 now. first letter names.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say here, it says, "And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony." Right, we're going to be prophesying a lot. Some of us of the hopeful elect, right, in particular the 144, are going to be brought in front of major governors, kings, what's it called, presidents, right, generals, right, and these technocrats and oligarchies, politicians, right, as a testimony to prophesy their downfall, as we do now on the highways and byways and on the internet. But we're going to be doing it face to face. And it also says, and them and the Gentiles. Prophetically, you can apply this both to Israel and non-Israelites. Okay, Israel and non-Israelites both will hear the message that the prophets will have to speak.
That's
all right. And those that are of the 1/3 of the elect, which is the 1/3 that will wake up that last hour, they might wake up with that from that message. Okay. So verse 19, it says, "But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak.
Straight. That's right.
For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you."
Straight. That's a point. That's a point. Right? So yes, simply put, that's going to be a snare, but we have a solution for it. Right? We have a solution for it. And simply put, right there is the answer in regards to the solution that will be with the prophets. Simply put, the spirit of prophecy will be upon them. All right? That's it.
Okay, so this here, I got two clips from Jason A. So it says here, Trump and Bill Gates announced the beast system. Okay. And this is fair use, fair use, fair use. None of the channels on this panel are using this video to make money. We're only using this video for educational purposes only. All right. And we're not giving any medical advice. This is not medical information. So fair use, fair use, fair use. So we're going to go ahead and play this.
Only need these invasive electronic tattoos. And he is actually touting them to be a far more subtle alternative to today's mobile devices. But here is the truth about what is actually signifying. Think again, and think again deep.
The Bible said is going to happen, it's happened.
I'm assuming you guys can hear this too as well.
Straight. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Come on.
That should make you just really walk with the fear of the Lord. That should make you be like, man, I can't be playing around with the things of God. And so think about this. If they were to do away with phones.
And it's funny, man, that these wacky-tacky Christians can understand the time of the MOTB, can see the MOTB for what it is. But you got our own people, all right, Israel, the ones that are within, that swear up and down that that's not what it's talking about. It's not talking about the C hip, or they know it's about this. It's talking about the C hip, and they're muzzled and they have muzzles on their mouth. Okay, they got muzzles on their mouth. They're not saying anything about it. GMS, we go into the MOTB every single day.
Wow.
There's always going to be one group, one camp in GMS that's going into the MOTB or mentioning it in a lesson, man, because that's the next prophecy, the next major prophecy.
That's right.
Right? Everybody's already. We talked about this so many times. You take your debit card, right? You swipe it, then they put the chip, right? And so they're kind of warming you up. Then they started making you tap the card. Then they started making you tap the phone. And remember, we've been saying this for years. Eventually, they're going to put the phone inside of you some type of way. And now they're talking about a tattoo. And the crazy thing is that with the click of a button, they can.
So with a click of a button, they can actually just stop that service from operating. Should tell you that. So you might be wondering, what exactly are electronic tattoos? Because Bill Gates is a bit hideous when it comes to his electronic tattoos. Well, think of them as temporary skin applications. Temporary is in the sense of COVID temporary, that use smart ink that is filled with nanocapacitors. Of course, these tattoos can communicate with surrounding devices, letting you do things like send messages, browse the web, or even unlock doors, all with a simple swipe or a gesture.
Miracles, right? In short, miracles.
And this is something that we might say beyond communication. Well, what is beyond communication in this case? Well, these tattoos could also monitor vital signs like your heart rate, body temperature, and even detect potential health issues before they become serious.
Well, at the White House, CEOs of some of the nation's biggest tech companies sat down for a dinner with President Trump. And at the table, 33 people in total, including Tim Cook, Sam Altman, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg, just to name a few. Here's some of what the president had to say as the night began.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the media. They've been very nice lately, although I'm still here. So we have to. He made a couple of bad predictions. That was not good. I've never had that feeling before. I went to an event and people are coming up to me and saying, "You're still here." I said, "What do they mean by that? I didn't hear about this." But anyway, I do. The press has been great in terms of this industry, and they understand the importance of it. This is taking our country to a new level. We're leading the world. We're leading China, but we're leading the world by a lot. And we're leading it because of the people around the table. And all I can do is implement and make it a lot easier for you. And I'll be doing that 100%.
The biggest tech names will be here at the White House for that event in the newly renovated Rose Garden. Now, that iconic space, of course, on the south side of the White House, just on the other side of where I'm standing now, it looks entirely different after these major renovations that happened there. Now, it was this once green expanse. Now it's paved over, and we see patio tables, chairs, as well as those umbrellas out there in the newly renovated Rose Garden. So that's where these business and tech leaders will be later this evening, including Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, Apple CEO Tim Cook, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Google CEO Sundar Pichai, and Oracle CEO as well going to be there. A long list of names, but one of those that is missing from that list is Elon Musk. Of course, we saw that quick rise, quick fall out of President Trump's graces, all of that playing out here at the White House. Musk says he did receive an invite, but he's sending a representative instead. That was in a post on X. Now, I'm told by a source that tonight's event in the newly renovated Rose Garden, it's going to look so.
Which, hey man, again, they're all on the same side. That's just another.
They're all the same.
Yeah, exactly. That's just
Bob and Satan.
Yeah, Beelzebub. Yeah, exactly.
It's all the same tricks, man.
Right hand, left hand, huh?
Yeah. And I was gonna say what came to my mind. You see that big sign that they just showed with the apple?
Yeah.
And the chunk getting biting out of the apple. Like, remember that just brought me straight back to the garden, right? Well, just right when I seen that, it just hit me, you know? Like these guys they orchestrate everything so perfectly. So precise.
Which we know it wasn't an apple, and we know it wasn't an actual fruit, but it was parabolic knowledge.
Which goes back to deception.
That's right. And that's what just came. All of that just bang.
True.
Yeah. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in South Florida. So this is going to be something to watch because it's the first one in the Rose Garden since it's been renovated. Nicole?
Yeah, and no Elon Musk. Very interesting. All right. And a big day and night for tech in Washington, D.C. Some of the Bay Area's wealthiest and most powerful techies traveling to the White House to talk AI. Here's our business and tech reporter, Scott Budman.
As we speak, the White House is preparing to host a dinner featuring several high-profile CEOs, among them Sam Altman of OpenAI, Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, and Apple CEO Tim Cook. The topic? Technology, which was also on the agenda earlier today when First Lady Melania Trump hosted some Silicon Valley dignitaries to the White House to talk AI. AI, which the First Lady says will lead the country forward.
And I won't be surprised if AI becomes known as the greatest engine of progress in the history of the United States of America.
And Melania Trump invited some of AI's biggest...
Which it will. Mm-hmm. It will, right? For a time. Okay, for a time.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, and for the sake of prophecy, it will. But it's not going to be a forever thing. Just like the scriptures say, the inward thoughts of their house the inward thoughts of the wicked is that their houses shall continue forever, roughly paraphrasing. So it will be for a time, okay, but not forever. A short time at that, a very short time.
That's right.
Silicon Valley boosters.
This is all in the service of helping the next generation to solve problems, fuel innovation, and build an incredible future.
Including Google CEO Sundar Pichai making his pitch for AI in schools as well as business.
We really imagine a future where every student, regardless of their background or location, can learn anything in the world in a way that works best for them.
At a time when the Trump administration is literally investing in Silicon Valley businesses, it's turning to its AI czar, a longtime Silicon Valley investor, for advice.
There is a lot of fear out there. Some people think that AI is going to take all of our jobs. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think AI is going to unleash a productivity boom like we've never seen. It's going to make all of us more productive.
Whatever happens with AI, it's being watched from the White House.
So this was years ago. Let's look at what is actually happening. This is 2025. So in a bold prediction that's making waves across the tech world, the very same guy who has always been behind such kind of technology, I mean, the Microsoft founder, Bill Gates, has suggested that smartphones could soon be obsolete, replaced by an entirely new kind of technology. So forget everything you know about handheld devices. Gates envisions a future where electronic tattoos become the new norm. So Gates is determined to kill off the smartphone and replace it with something far more invasive, the electronic tattoos, electronic tats, which is a technology designed to merge with your body. The question is, why and how does it work? Of course, the answer is as vague as what you actually saw there. But let me actually take you back to when they were envisioning it again. And in this case, this is when they were willing to actually tell the truth. Remember when they said you could eventually call using your palm or your brain? I mean, this time.
The task was instant communication. The creation was imperfect. It had function but was lacking form. The solution will always be a challenge. Yet now it finally comes to fruition. Introducing total integration. Be safe, secure, connected. With a no-moto E36 epidural implant, you have instant access to everyone you care about. Plus, you can record your history as you make it. Featuring electro-N technology and organic storage, the no-moto E36 is the best iteration of a good idea. GPSX, brought to the neighborhood.
So as you can see, there's nothing new under the sun. They always had this kind of idea. So Gates is the one that is quite interesting because in 2025, there's something else that is a little bit like a leap. So Gates points to electronic tattoos that are developed by Chaotic Moon, and they're later acquired by a company known as Accenture, which is a World Economic Forum darling. And this is something that is touting as the next big leap in personal technology. So instead of holding a phone in our hands, these tattoos could allow us to communicate, to access the internet, or even monitor your health, all without a screen inside. So you don't have to touch anything. Well, what's the key advantage? According to Bill Gates, these tattoos are integrated into the body. Imagine you have a device embedded in your skin that lets you interact with the world through simple gestures or touch. This is how it's being sold. And they're also saying it's going to be sleek, unobtrusive, and possibly more intuitive than anything we've seen so far. Well, the tattoos are powered by tiny nanocapacitors. Nanoparticles is what you're supposed to remember. And of course, they don't require bulky batteries or displays. So forget about your lithium battery. Forget about changing your battery.
Yeah. So you hear it.
You heard
You hear it, man. Let me get this precept.
I got some precepts after.
Okay, I got one too as well. But take your time, brother. Go ahead.
Hold on here. We'll get. Yeah, I'll get just these two here real quick, straight to the point. So Psalms, because you know what, at the end of the day, you know, all the precepts we're going to be getting are precepts that you've been hearing over and over and over again. And you're going to continue to hear them over and over and over again because the prophecies are speaking. Okay.
That's right.
And we're near the end. So this is nothing new. It might be to some of you, you might be new to this, but this is nothing new. To get right to the point. So it says Psalms 93 and 91 and 3. It says, surely he shall deliver me from the snares of the fowler, right? And from the nauseum pestilence. Now, let me get this in the NLT.
Yeah.
It says, for he will rescue you from every trap. Okay? Because remember, in Matthew 24 and 24, very real quick, it says, Matthew 24 and 24, it says, for there shall arise false anointeds, right? False Christ and false Hamashiachims and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders,
Mhm.
right? Going to AI and their technology. And so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, right? So going back to Psalms 91:3, it says, "For he will rescue you from every evil trap," right? And the next evil trap is MOTB,
That's right.
okay? "And protect you from deadly diseases." And we know that's coming down the pipe as well. But as well as that nausea and pestilence ultimately goes into the missiles.
That's right.
Okay. Now we'll go from here because you know that he mentioned about the technology, how this technology is going to be miraculous, right? But for it to be miraculous in the sense of health, okay, there needs to be problem, right? Problem, reaction, solution. So there needs to be pestilence. You're gonna have all kinds of pestilence and diseases that will be let loose. And if you want to be so-called safe, right? And you got to get this electronic tattoo or ultimately the sea head. But the Lord is going to protect his elect
That's right.
through their faith and testimony and fear in Yahweh Shem Shai. They're not going to have to lean on Esau Edom, okay, for protection. They're going to lean on Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right.
Right?
Yep,
Straight.
yep, 100%.
That's right.
I got Psalms 64, and I'll start at 4. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord.
That's right.
And shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Which I brought the scripture out because basically these wicked men, the elite, they set these snares and traps for the men of the Lord to fall. But the Lord sees it all, man. You know?
That's right.
The traps that they set is these devices that they have. The MOTB, what's coming, which already been started in 2020. That's just a piece of it, right? And these are some of the sickness and diseases what's going to arise out of this thing, right? Because that's going to give you cancer. It's going to give you all type of diseases. What's going to form from that, which they're probably covering it up right now, but a lot of people are going to be sick.
Well, like you read here, right? I'm going to get this in NLT. It says they shoot from ambush, right? Go into secret, right? They shoot from ambush
That's a spirit
at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fiercely. That's a demonization we read about earlier.
Yeah.
Right? Being demonized for the testimony of Yahweh Shai. That's what's coming down the pipe next. Okay. And it says they encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret.
Yeah.
This is why you see Trump getting together at the White House with all these technocrats, all right, talking about all the different innovations that they plan for America and the people, right? But this is just smooth talk. We know that smooth talk with the serpent is natural, but what's also natural is war in his heart, as the scriptures say.
That's right.
Right? So it says, who will ever notice, they ask. As they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised a perfect plan. You see? The plan of the New World Order, the NWO, in their minds is a perfect plan, but they don't understand that they are puppets of the Heavenly Father, left-hand side. He gave you that plan, right, to fulfill His will,
That's
right,
right.
and so that at the end of it all, His name, all right, and His Son's name will be glorified, just like He did with ancient Egypt.
That's right.
Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning, but yeah, and this is what you said, Bunyamin, right? You
Yeah.
said that the Most High sees everything that they're doing, right? So it says, but Yahweh Himself will shoot them with His arrows, right?
Yep.
That goes into multiple things, ICBMs, but also the chariots,
Mm-hmm.
right? With the laser beams, and then spiritually and prophetically, what we're teaching.
That's right.
That's right.
These are spiritual arrows,
That's right.
right? The testimony of Yahweh Shai is spiritual arrows from the prophets.
That's right.
Suddenly striking them down, right? We're exposing you through this truth.
Oh, Khan.
Okay. Now, that's a beautiful chapter.
Yeah,
You got
that's
something real quick, and then I'm gonna
yeah,
bring something up.
real quick. I'm gonna go to, you know where I'm going, because at the beginning of that video, real quick, I have Leviticus 19:28. That's the precept, right? That's in clear violation of what the scriptures, the divine receipts say, and the instruction given to the elect, right? So they're gonna accuse us because we're going to refuse this in spirit and in truth. Refuse those things that they have prepared right at the beginning of the video. I don't even want to say it, right?
Yeah.
But the video was playing on that from Bill Gates, a gift from Bill Gates. So this is law, legally, right? The divine receipt. I'm going to read it one more time because I'm going to read it one more time.
Read it. Let's get right to it. Read it.
I'm just trying to find it. Where did it go? Okay.
I got it. I got it here.
Yep. Oh, okay, bring it out, brother. I was looking for it on my page. So
Leviticus 19 and 28, right?
That's correct. Law 253, right? The Lord's divine. Yeah, 1928. Go ahead, brother.
So Leviticus 19:28, ye shall not make any cutting in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord, Yahweh.
You see? So in clear violation, that's a law that the elect will adhere to in spirit and in truth. Okay? And they're going crazy against that. Anyway, just want to say that because you people like to be legal, so we're giving you the legal divine receipt. That's it.
So let's go to here, 2 Thessalonians 2, which we always bring this out. Let me get this in NLT as well. See, we're in a time now where we're just going to give you straight bullets, no long-winded breakdowns or
that's right.
Prefaces. Just read the scripture, let it speak, break it down real quick, and move on.
That's it.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, NLT. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahweh, or the Lord Yahweh Shai, will kill him with the breath of his mouth. Right. First and foremost, starting with the testimony of Yahweh Shai, prophecy. This truth, but then also going into when he does arrive with the host of heaven and the chariots, which are called UFOs, and that's being the laser beams, okay, and destroy him with the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan, right? Which is what's the work of Satan? Is to be adverse to everything that's called Yahweh Bashem El Shai, to be adverse to the truth, and to be adverse to the truth, and to get people on that side of being adversaries, okay, you would have to deceive them. Deception. That's also part of the work of Satan. It's deception. So this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power. Left-hand side is counterfeit to the right, because they're going to be healing the blind, the sick, the deaf, the lame, right? So on and so forth. So with counterfeit power,
You know why? Because he made that device to do these things. To with some of this technology that he has now, it's going to be able to make you hear things when you're deaf, see from that same neural whatever he's doing. That's going to have the ability to do all these miracles.
Yeah, of course. Counterfeit
all
miracles,
things
counterfeit power.
That's right. All this stuff that you couldn't do, he's gonna give it to you by that one little thing.
Yeah, transhumanism The artificial counterfeit AI, yep, linking with humanity.
So that's some of the miracles that this serpent's gonna come down with on the people.
God. So it says, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles, right? Going through his technology. He will use every kind of evil deception, right? Psyops.
Every.
Okay. And we went into the 6 different aspects of a psyop, a psychological operation. It covers basically every aspect of your social, emotional, mental, and physical being, a psyop. Okay. So he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them, right? So those that are getting caught up in this man's deception are meant to get caught up in his deception.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right. Because
they
look what it says
rejected
there.
the word. Yeah, because they rejected the word of Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right.
Right, as it says here, verse 11. So Yahweh will cause them, right? The Most High Yahweh will cause them to be greatly deceived. Why? Because they rejected His word, which was spoken by the mouth of the prophets.
That's right.
Okay, so Yahweh will cause them to be greatly deceived. They're going to believe the lies and believe in the miracles, the counterfeit power and miracles and signs of the devil. Okay, of Esau, Edom, and they will believe these lies.
That's right.
You see, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil, because that's what this knowledge is, right? The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Okay, if it's not wisdom, it's evil.
That's right.
They're going to enjoy the ability to download a language into their mind within 5 seconds. The ability to, do whatever these things promises, man. It promises a lot of different things, right? Call without having a phone, everything, man. See into your dreams, whatever it is, this technology comes with, that the Lord Yahweh allows them to do this technology.
Wow. Salakia.
It says,
go up a little bit. It says,
verse 11.
Basically, these people are all fools, man. The Lord's calling you a fool right now, man. For you to, because you're on the way of destruction as it is, regardless. You're on the way of a destruction because you're being fooled. You're a fool going in the wrong path, like going down the wrong way, man. So the Lord's looking at you as a fool, man, as a baboon. You understand? Because He tells you plain as day, man, to wake up and come out of that ignorant state of mind that you're in. You're going down into destruction. You're walking into the destruction, and that's meant for you. That destruction is meant for you because you're already heading towards it, man.
Let's continue. So verse 12, it says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so I'm gonna bring this out here real quick.
Okay.
And some of the evils is what's happening right now. Beauty, all the wickedness of this world, all the thing that you put your heart and mind and soul into, man. That's all wicked, man, and that's what you believe in.
Wow.
Basically, trying to become a rap star, a superstar, all these things of the world, man. That is what is they're gonna destroy you.
Yeah.
And that's what it
Evil
is.
goes into a bad time, right? Going
That's
into
right.
a bad time. They're enjoying something that's gonna bring a bad time upon them.
That's right.
Cause them to be deceived. Wow.
So here in chat, I just got out parallels between technocrats and 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, right? So it says, working of Satan. Technocrats use technology not just neutrally, but to control economies, behaviors, and thought. AI surveillance, predictive policing, censorship. Their innovations align with deception and manipulation.
That's right.
mirroring Satan's working.
Oh,
Number
NLP.
2, power and signs and lying wonders. It says artificial intelligence, virtual reality, transhumanism, and digital miracles like deepfake and biotech manipulation give the illusion of godlike powers.
Mm-hmm.
These can easily deceive the masses like false wonders. Number 3, deceivableness of unrighteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Many are deceived into trusting technology and innovation over Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
The system offers convenience, efficiency, and supposed salvation, healthcare, security, even AI-driven religion. But it leads to spiritual ruin.
That's right.
Yeah.
Number 4, received not the love of the truth. People choose lies and the promises of technocrats. It says people choose lies and promises of technocrat utopia over the word of Yahweh.
That's right.
Bashim Shai.
That's right.
They embrace false wisdom, making technology their idol.
That's right.
Mm.
100%.
Yeah, they've merged with the technology, AI. But I like what it says there real quick. It says convenience. Hey, so even if you refuse the mark, you already bought into the philosophy. You're trapped, man. The scripture says, like the brother was breaking down earlier, verse 11 of 2 Thessalonians, the Lord's going to cause you, right, to be deceived. You can't get out of it. You people are baboons, man. You're done. Go ahead.
Because if you refuse the MARK, right, the MOTB, the CHIP, you refuse it, but you don't acknowledge Yahweh Shema Shai. What good? You were better off just receiving it.
That's
you were
right.
better off receiving it.
That's right.
All right. So this next clip here, from Jason A as well. It says, "What's happening to America in 2025 will scare you." Okay, but this is going into the traps and miracles as well. So while everybody is, has their heads turned towards Charlie Clerk and and the whole psyop of it all, and this is what Bill Gates is doing.
Rental community in Tempe has all the amenities. This brand new rental community in Tempe has all the amenities: fitness center, dog park, outdoor kitchens, but something's missing. So there are no cars in this community at all.
Isn't it great?
Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 90% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to start nearly 200 apartments.
And notice how they mentioned Gen Z, right? These top wicked elites, they don't expect, the older generation or the mid to older generation to be involved in partaking in the MOTB. But this Gen Z generation, they're beyond cooked mentally and primed for these wicked elites, all right, to use them, all right, and have control over them via the MOTB in their new world order. Okay, so you're gonna see as we play this video, the majority of people that are buying into this is this younger generation. And I forgot who it was, but he said, "Give me this Edomite." He talked about if he has the power to control children, he can control the future generation. Something like that. I forgot the exact quote, but it's true, right?
Yeah.
So
all within steps of each other. No
Salaki,
cars,
what's his name?
spaces, no garages.
Salaki, brother.
Sorry,
Roland?
Salaki, what'd you say?
I just wanted to know the name of that guy. Roland something? Roland Johnson?
Let me see if I can actually find it.
It's okay. I was gonna pull it up on thing and hold it, but I just wanted to get his name. Roland something or Randy.
Yeah, so that's going into those 15-minute cities, man. Everything just.
Hold on, let it play, brother. We didn't even get into it yet.
Okay.
What? Controlling the generation. Yeah. Okay. Photo.
Let's see.
What's the name of this guy? Wow.
Yeah, I forgot who it was specifically.
Well, remember that swab guy was that they'll want to give up everything, right? Just forget this.
Whatever, man. Hey,
Oh, so don't.
those of you that are watching, if you know the quote, put it in the comment section. But I forgot
Right.
exactly who it was. But
Okay. It's all good. We'll get him. We'll get it after. Go ahead, brother. Shaw.
yeah, fine. Okay. Let's continue here.
All right, check this out. If Bill Gates gets his way, Arizona, no cars mean neighborhood, retail, restaurants, and to start nearly 200 apartments, all within steps of each other. No cars means no parking spaces, no garages. All right, check this out. If Bill Gates gets his way, Arizona could be home to a brand new cutting-edge smart city. A real estate investment firm owned by the computer billionaire recently bought a giant plot of land in the far West Valley for $80 million. All right, well, billionaire Bill Gates is feeling it. He's dropping some major cash to build a brand new city of the future. Gates snapping up 25,000 acres. Thousands of acres in Arizona. That's huge. Price tag $80 million.
Well, he is, of course, one of the richest men in the world, and he just bought a big piece of land right here in Arizona. But
which he isn't, right? He's a welfare case for those that actually are the top wicked elite. He's a welfare case.
Welfare case. That's right.
Those guys, the ones that you don't see that are living underground in their underground cities, their bunkers, their riches go beyond money.
That's right.
And beyond gold and silver. Their riches go into controlling literally the minds of people, economies, resources, people being their resource. Okay.
What will billionaire Bill Gates do with 25,000 acres in Tonopah?
Next comes the fun part. The co-founder of Microsoft plans to build a smart city with cutting-edge technology about 50 miles west of Phoenix. 80,000 homes and plenty of room for industry with high-speed data centers and self-driving cars. You ready for this, Phil?
Hit me.
The name of the city, the new city will be Belmont.
Belmont.
Go where you will with that.
How about Gatesville or he proposed
Okay, Belmont, right? Go where you will with that, right? Okay, real quick. I looked up Belmont. I said what chat. I said, what does Belmont mean, right? And what's etymology and where does it go back to? So chat brought up Belmont literally means beautiful mountain or fair hill, right? It comes from Old French belle, fair, lovely, beautiful, right? Da 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 da. And then it's a compound word, mont, right? Mountain, hill. Okay. So let's go to the etym. Okay, hey, never let these guys.
That's right.
Bring out the weapon. Yeah, that's our weapon.
Exactly.
Not
we go to bell, and we know what bell means, right?
Man. That's right. Cut them down. Trust me.
It's also in Latin from bell, also in Latin from bellus, heaven and earth, god of Babylonian religion.
That's right.
From Akkadian Belu, literally Lord, owner, master, cognate of with Hebrew Baal. Okay, so name of a Semitic solar deity worshipped, especially by the Phoenicians and Carthaginians. Okay, so you should know about Baal by now. Okay, if you don't, go look up Baal. It says it goes into that's just a Beelzebub, right? Beelzebub. So when you go into that word, chat told you it was a compound word. It broke it down in the compound word. It gave you bell for beautiful, but when you go into etymology, chat's going off. You go into bell for etymology, it gave us going back to Baal, showing you these guys worship Satan. Yep. So Belmont goes into what? Baal mountain, mountain of Baal.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well,
So anyway,
Bell,
yeah.
Bellevue.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bellevue.
Will be turned into its own smart city. It will be designed around high-speed networks, self-driving cars, high-speed digital networks, data centers, and new manufacturing technologies. 3,800 acres will go towards office, commercial, and retail space. 470 acres will be used for public schools. That leaves room for 80,000 residential units. Now, it's unclear how much Gates will be involved in the project so far. Experts say the land Gates' company has purchased is in a good spot, in part due to the proposed I-11 freeway, which would run right through Belmont and connect to Las Vegas. So far, still no word on when construction will start.
Sprawling metropolis of Phoenix is an unlikely place to build an apartment complex without parking for residents. Car dependency is just part of life for most people there. But a new development in the suburb.
And remember, everybody can agree to the fact that cars are not good for our society. Who was the one who brought cars into society? Esau Edom,
Yeah.
right? Too much CO2 is being pushed out in the air, toxins, this, that, and the third, right? So problem, reaction, solution. Here we have a 15-minute city, right? You don't need no cars.
Tempe is providing a blueprint for more environmentally friendly and car-free living. Stephanie Sy has this report for our Tipping Point series and our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
The vast suburbs of Phoenix make driving a necessity for most people who live here.
There's not a drop of asphalt in the project.
But developer Ryan Johnson, who grew up in the area, has a different vision for its future. And it starts with this apartment complex in the city of Tempe.
It's a 1,000-person neighborhood where it's the first car-free neighborhood built from scratch in the U.S.
Car-free, meaning no parking spaces for the more than 300 residents.
I love it so far.
And now it makes sense why they have these electronic scooters and electronic bikes all over the place, right? That's a psyop, getting you used to not having to use a vehicle because they're setting up these 15-minute cities.
It's done wonders for my lifestyle.
Raven Ross, a full-time artist, moved to Cul-de-sac last February. When residents sign a lease, they agree to not keep a car at the property.
So how has it been being without a car? So I take public transit now. So sometimes my bus stop can be like a 13-minute walk or it can just be a 2-minute walk. So just having that walking time every day that I probably wouldn't normally get if I had a car has been a benefit.
The savings from not having a car can be up to $1,000 a month. And Ross has lost 25 pounds since moving here. Araceli Delgadillo and her family are big on bikes. Even the 5-year-old rides.
How do you take a watermelon back from the grocery store on a bike?
Well, we haven't tried that yet. Little ones, not the like super big ones. But we have a cargo bike for that now, so probably would work.
She and her husband sold their cars and home to move to Cul-de-sac last July.
We used to have to commute 26 miles every day, twice a day, five times a week. It was just so rough on me. Like, so I always sit in the.
And these places will come with universal income, UBI as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
I look around and I see everybody kind of like a zombie.
Like miserable and in traffic.
Because we don't have residential parking, it opens us up to have 55% landscape space. We get to add so much to the neighborhood.
Like social spaces around every corner. The complex is strategically located right next to the area's light rail system. All residents get a free pass. The first 200 also get a free electric e-bike, and a partnership with Lyft gets them discount rides.
I've been fine just going via rail or just biking.
Juan Ramos, among the first 100 to move in here, grew up in Arizona, but left because he didn't like the car-dependent sprawl. At 27, he just came back and says living car-free has opened his eyes.
Frankly, for most of the apartments I've lived in for years, I've never even talked to my neighbors. I know people like, that's Pete over there, that's Ben over there, and I'm like, that's the first time I've said that.
Residents often gather near the retail stores, which focus on small businesses. Jada Stratman is moving both her Home Sense business and herself in.
It's not as like affordable out here as it was a few years ago, you know, and having that opportunity to live and work where you are and just have it as one, that's perfect.
So if you build an office or an office building, you have to supply something around 3 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet of office space. Or if you're building an apartment complex, you have to supply 1 or 2 parking places for every unit that you're building. So with all this parking that's required for everything that we do, parking becomes ubiquitous, it's free, and we all expect free parking everywhere we go. And because of that, we all drive everywhere.
The parking requirements started in earnest before World War II, and by the 1950s.
If you build, they will come. If you build, they will come. So these people, they know. You build, they're gonna come. They're gonna come. That was the old saying. If you build something, they'll come. You know what I mean? So look what they have. They have the people tricked out of their friggin' mind, man. You know, they built these places, and now everybody's scrambling in like cockroaches, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be crazy because they look at this as a new thing, you know, like, oh yeah, it's cool, you know.
So there's no roads.
Yeah.
Hey, right now, like you said, it's looked at as being cool, but you have to remember there's going to be on the other side of these 15-minute cities, you're gonna have chaos, violence, evil, rampaging. So
They're
these
trapped
cities
in
are going to
your safe haven.
be safe havens, exactly. So if you choose where you want what you want. Do you want to be a part of this 15-minute city where everything is basically
Secure.
heaven on earth, so to speak?
Yes.
Or do you want to take your chances out in the old world, right? The old world of violence and chaos, because that's what it's going to be like. That's why they show you this in the movies. They predictively program you through these movies, post-apocalyptic movies, and show you that in every I Am Legend. At the end of it, where did he go to? He went. There was always some kind of safe haven where you can get in, and there was protection, there was food, and everything else that you need, all your necessities. That's what they're doing right now. While everybody's eyes are on Charlie Clerk, this guy's building 15-minute cities.
Right? You got to be in order to be in that one, Belmont, you got to be a certain type of American. Movie.
Ultimately, you gotta, eventually, exactly. Which American are you? Eventually, you're gonna have to have a C hit. Okay.
Remember that movie called Elysium? There's a movie called Elysium. Yeah, so it's something like that. Like they want to go to the other planet and bring everybody because the Earth was getting messed up. The same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Same idea.
The idea. Same idea. Yeah.
Had become commonplace in American urban planning. The result in Phoenix is not only sprawl, but heat. Climate change has led to record-breaking summers in the Valley of the Sun.
One of the reasons that Phoenix is continuing to get hotter and hotter, especially in the summer months, it's the overnight temperatures that are really rising. And a lot of that is heat that's trapped in our roads and our parking lots that is just being released overnight.
With a mind toward climate change and sustainable development, Tempe's parking policies are evolving.
So we've reduced our parking requirements, especially if you're attached to a major public transit route, for example. We've made it easier to have less parking. We've also made our buildings face a street, face the pedestrian environment, face public transit, rather than having a building separated by a large parking lot from the street. It's better to build walkable neighborhoods. It's better for climate. It's better for health. It's better for happiness. It's better for low cost of living. It's better for low cost of government.
It's better.
It's a better way to build cities.
It's better in Belmont.
God.
Belmont. There is political will to is an open question. For now, cul-de-sac is a tiny oasis in a vast desert of suburban sprawl.
It's pretty much the middle of nowhere, open desert off Interstate 10 in Tonopah, 50 miles west of Phoenix. But it may not be empty space much longer. This undeveloped land could soon be transformed into a sprawling smart city with all the high-tech, cutting-edge gadgets you could ask for.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a good change for us all.
I don't know if I would want technology to take too much control and take away from the human aspect of life.
A real estate investment firm owned by billionaire Bill Gates just bought the giant plot of land for $80 million with the hope of building a forward-thinking community called Belmont, full of new technologies and high-speed data networks. The smart city would have the room for 80,000 homes, 3,800 acres of office and retail space, and 470 acres for public schools. The streets would be filled with self-driving cars, and every home equipped with features you control with your smartphone or iPad. Lights, thermostat, locking the front door.
It would be one of the first.
Ron Schott with the Arizona Technology Council tells us building a smart city from scratch is a lot easier than trying to rebuild an existing community.
If you asked people 5 years ago, will there be unmanned automobiles driving around in the Phoenix and the Valley, that have said you're nuts. But guess what? We've had them now for quite some time.
There's no timetable for when the smart city would be built, but Schott says it could easily be done in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. You see it there, man. You see it there. Let me get a precept here in Proverbs 24. Proverbs 26, Salake, and 24. And yeah, I'll get this in NLT, see how it sounds. Proverbs 26 and 24. It says, people may cover their hatred with pleasant words, but they're deceiving you, right? They pretend to these technocrats and oligarchies and their masters above them. They really hate people. They hate you people. Okay, you're looked at as goyim, cattle, useless eaters. This is why they want to put a device in you so they can have full control right? Full control over your mind and make you do their bidding, their exact and every bidding, just like the Most High has over every living creature. Okay, showing you that they want to be like the Most High. People may cover their hatred with pleasant words, but they are deceiving you. They pretend to be kind, but don't believe them. Their heart are full of many evils. While their hatred may be concealed by trickery, right? Their wrongdoing will be exposed in public. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happening right now, anyways, via the prophets.
Yeah.
Okay. We're publicly exposing you. This is why we know that you're gonna shut. The Lord's gonna give you the go ahead to get us off the internet and off the highways and byways. But that's still prophecy. That's still prophecy. Verse 27, if you set a trap for others, you will get caught in it yourself. If you roll a boulder down on others, it will crush you instead. A lying tongue hates its victims, and flattering words cause ruin. Okay? And who has more flattering words than the serpent himself? Esau, Edom. Right? Let me see this real quick. I know King James is actually way better. It says, verse 24, he that hateth disassembles with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart.
That's right.
Whose hatred is covered by deceit, right? Snares in the guise of miracles. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will turn upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering tongue worketh ruin. Yep. So you can only get ruin and expect evil from the left-hand side when they're trying to flatter you with miracles and counterfeit signs, right, of health, security, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm just going to pull this off from chat, and I also pull this out in terms of 15-minute cities. Okay, so, and when I asked a lengthy question, but let's see. So look at this. Parallels. It says parallels, 50-minute cities, innovation, and how benefits can become snares. Okay. First, what a 50-minute city is, neutral definition. It's an urban planning concept that aims to put most daily needs within 15 minutes by walking, biking, or short transit, improving access, health, and sustainability. How the benefits can be used as lies, snares, mapped to spiritual precepts above. Yeah, we'll get these precepts. So it says, sweet talk of improved convenience and well-being. It goes into Proverbs and Romans. Okay, so the pitch, 15-minute cities or 15-minute planning is framed as purely good, better health, shorter commutes, local jobs, less pollution. True benefits exist. How that can be a snare. When leaders or corporations emphasize only convenience and omit trade-offs, data collection, surveillance, restrictions, that flattering language can deceive the heart of the simple. Romans 16 and 18. If you guys, hey, one of you brothers, if you want to get those precepts, I'll just your brother, maybe Malak, he gets Romans 16 and 18, and Bunyamin read Proverbs 26. So that's the spirit. What's Romans 8 and 16? If you want to get that real quick. And let me know when you got it.
You said 8 and 16, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Romans
No.
16 and 18.
Oh, so okay, 16 and 18. Okay, I'll get that one.
You know, I'll go. I'll go there with you as well. You can read it.
Right.
Let's get that real quick. I can pull it up. I actually have it here.
Mm-hmm.
Romans 16 and 18. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read it for you. I'll read it for you.
The water.
Mm-hmm. It says Romans 16 and 18. It says, "For they that are such serve not our power, our Lord, Mashiach Yahushai, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple."
Exactly.
Right?
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
Yep.
So number 2, it says embedded technology equals efficiency and potential surveillance. Psalm 65, Wisdom of Solomon parallels. Fact, smart city tech, IoT, Internet of Things. That's what IoT stands for. IoT sensors, cameras, AL, analytics is often paired with 15-minute compact planning to optimize mobility, energy, safety. That technology necessarily collects data. Researchers and privacy framework flag the risk of over collection and misuse. This is a snare. Data collection for efficiency can be repurposed for monitoring, predictive policing, or commercial profiling. Hitting war in the heart. Benefits, smooth promises, and then Psalm 55 and 21, right? We know what that goes into, right? And then Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, war of ungodly plans.
That's right.
Okay.
War was in his heart.
Exactly. Words were smooth as butter, but war was in his heart.
That's right.
Traffic filters, access controls, and subtle restrictions. Paranoid urbanism concerns. Some measures, traffic filters, congestion zones, permit systems that aim to reduce car dependencies can be framed as temporary or safety measures, but if implemented without transparency or appeal, they can be used to limit movement, condition access. Critics have raised fears, others call those fears conspiratorial. And the scriptures say, don't call everything conspiracy like they do. It talks about that in Ezekiel, so in the NLT. So context and evidence matter. So it says here, centralized data plus private contractors equals opaque power. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. I'm just gonna get to key points here. It's getting into a lot of different things. Oh yeah, and dependency. Okay, I'll read this. It says centralized data plus private contractors. Investigations show how advanced tech and tools can be used by governments for broad surveillance. Example, beyond 15-minute cities and corporative innovation involvement can make oversight murky, where control is centralized and opaque. False apostles, many may present tools as righteousness while serving other ends. Yep, because a lot of these various teachers and prophets and pastors are actually paid and bought for.
Right.
Watch when the MOTB is
Made law.
I guess more frequent up until the point is made law. And you're going to see various prophets within Israel and pastors and teachers that will spin the narrative, telling you how this is the right thing. This is not what the Hebrew Israelites say it is. Da 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 da. This, that, and the third. You know what I mean? They're gonna be used as tools to what? To spin the narrative while serving other ends. They're going to be false apostles, right? Presenting tools as righteousness. What tool? The MOTB, the 15-minute cities, and all the miracles and counterfeit powers that comes with it, while serving other ends. Whose ends are they serving? The
That's
ends of their masters. Esau,
That's right.
Edom.
People who's paying them.
Right? Exactly. And number 5, it says dependency as a snare, spiritual
Wow.
parallel snare of the fowler. If people become dependent on a single integrated system for transport, access to services, permits, or even payments, that dependency can be exploited, right? Just like everything else that's been exploited up until that point. Service denial conditionally a modern parallel to being caught in a fowler snare. Psalms 91 urges awareness and Yahweh's protection from such traps.
That's right.
Yep. That's basically it, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Convenience.
Anything else you want to bring up before we close up?
Just want to say this.
Convenience, go ahead.
Yeah, the convenience package. That's what we're seeing there. That is offered. That's going to be offered. And I'm just going to say this, right? The man that is in power, when he was in office last time, he said it. He said it. The biometric exit entry visa tracking system will be on land, sea, and air. Right. So I'm saying this quote is out there. It's covered, right? And it's going to come in the form of a convenience package. And we just saw in July of this year, the bipartisan Digital Act was the first one that was signed off. That is a law, right? And that goes into how the money system works, and it's also pointing to identification and health, right? That it has all those 3 things have to be digitized. But anyway, don't take my word for it, you folks. Go and look up what that is. The bipartisan Digital Genius Act. Okay, or Genius Digital Act, one way or the other, but it is there, bipartisan, where both of those horns come together, and they want to see what we're talking about be fulfilled. That's their purpose.
Anything else?
That's it. Put it out. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so yeah, with that, we're going to close up. Lord willing, this was edifying, straightforward, and edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. And give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, Rekha Kadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and others, the great millstone who rule well. And I've taught his word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000. All right, let's put this word in truth and sincerity and the innumerable multitude that sincerely believe upon the names of Yahweh, his one begotten son, Yahweh Shai. All right, above, Kwama to Allah, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.